There.
Can you hear us again?
Oh, I hear sound. Yes, now I can hear you. Hi,
Hi.
Katie. Hi, Craig. I was trying to do like freezing dances. So nice to see you. Everyone's like, thank goodness there's people because Gesha's talking like a crazy. So how are you?
We're doing good.
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm so excited. You all are keeping healthy and safe. Families all doing good.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yes. It's so nice to, I'm going to call it meeting, is officially meet you. And I have to tell you, you have the cutest delivery van.
Oh,
Because
thank you.
Oh no, it's like, it's so cute because when it came and for anyone who doesn't know, they do, but you can order all the time from Crimson, obviously, but then they have these weekends where they have free delivery. And I was like, and I live in Mississauga and they're going to drive to Mississauga. So Toronto, Durham, Mississauga, April 11th. I have it on my calendar. And I got the Let's Get Physical and a couple of other things. But I'm like, this little van drives up and it's like, it makes you feel like you just went into the orchard. And, you know, it just was like so welcoming. So, and I don't know, that was just so great. But that's enough about me. But it's just so nice to meet you all. So let us know your story. Because, yeah, I'm so intrigued.
Well, Craig and I came up with the idea of making a cidery about, 3.5 years ago? Yeah, and basically we just started planning it and started looking for property. We were looking in Niagara because that's where I'm originally from.
Okay.
We looked all over the province. We even looked out in British Columbia. And then by chance, we started looking in Prince Edward County, and we found this property that had the 1850s stone house, which is now our tasting room, and we just fell in love with it. So we kept looking because it was kind of on our upper edge of the price range for us. So we just kept coming back to it. Nothing we saw after that really measured up, and so we just decided to bite the bullet and give it a go, and we put an offer in. We got it, and then we basically took the property and started the cider company. We had to renovate the stone house because there was no plumbing, there really wasn't electricity in it, and there was no production area, there was no orchard, nothing. So we had a goal of 9 months from the time we purchased to the time we wanted to open, and unfortunately we didn't make the timeline that we had hoped for, but we did end up doing it in just shy of 11 months, which was crazy fast. It was a lot of work, that's for sure. And yeah, we basically started out our first year. It was great. We were just still getting known by a lot of people, and tourists were finding us, and people were so refreshed to see a cidery that had really dry cider. And that's one of the things that we are known for, is how dry our cider is. We don't really add too many sweeteners or anything. A lot of the sweetness is natural. So for instance, like we do one that's called Mint to Be, and that's a cucumber mint infused cider. And that cider is completely sweetened by the natural sweetness of the cucumbers and mint and apples, which is kind of crazy because it doesn't taste super dry, but there is no added sugar. So we have a fair number of ciders where we're not adding too much to it. So it's very much traditional, sort of more UK style of cider. And even our patrons have found that. We've had some people that actually came here from the UK, and they've told us that our cider is the closest thing they've found here to what they had at home. So that was kind of a feather in our caps.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Well, that's how I found you, because I love dry cider. And I mean, I know you get lots of emails and stuff, but when I emailed them, like, you know, do you use sugar? What do you use? And I know you don't use any like flavorings or essences. You use actual pure ingredients as well, right?
Yes. So like I mentioned, the cucumber mint one, that is literally cucumbers, mint, and apple, and yeast, of course. We've got our Be Mine one is just natural honey that is brought from about, how far is Tammy? maybe 25 kilometers, if that.
Wow.
And if you're looking for a great honey place, Hive in Hearthstone, awesome honey. We do sell their honey as well, but that's where we get our honey from. Same with our maple one. We get it locally. So we have our Roblin's maple syrup that we use in that. It's a local county maple producer. So we do try and keep everything as local as possible and minimal ingredients as possible.
Wonderful. So you said you had this idea, but did your background lend itself to being like cider masters? No, Craig.
It's kind of, we have a diverse background. So I went to school for forensic science. Then I went Then I went into photo video production, where I started my own photo video company. And then I did marketing after that. And then Craig was in the banking industry for 35 years. And then when we decided to do this, we did end up going to do the Cider and Perry Foundations course together. And then I did go on and do the advanced version as well.
Okay. And did this come about, I mean, was it just a passion for ciders that you had and just, or was it like led by the ingredients? Because I know you talked about the property and like, you know, that just sounds like it just pulled on your heartstrings. But like before that though, was it like, hey, this is cool and how can I go about doing this? Or was
Well, yeah, I mean, after retiring from the bank, I didn't want to sit at home. And so I was, you know, we were talking about different ideas, and Katie had a company already, and we were at dinner one night and, you know, had a bottle of wine, and we were talking about, you know, business ideas. And she said, well, why don't we look at doing a cidery? And, you know, I'm not a big fan of cider. Certainly wasn't at the time because it's all so sweet. Yeah, and
I love that. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, you know, but the stuff that we make is dry, it's easy drinking, it's really refreshing, and I love it. So, but you know, at that time, it was like everything you buy in the liquor store is just so sweet, right?
Yeah.
And I think we find that a lot where people will come in and say, oh, I don't like cider, it's too sweet, and then they try ours and they're walking out of here with a case.
Okay.
And that's happened numerous times where we get people coming in and they're like, I'm only here because my friend likes cider. I hate cider. I don't drink it. And I go, well, what do you normally drink? Yeah. And we have something really for everyone. So for instance, our wine drinkers tend to really like our Be Mine because that's kind of like an earthy white wine. We've got our rosé cider, which actually has hand-picked Marquette grapes from the county
this one?
in it. That one, yes.
Oh, this one.
Yes, so Craig and I actually picked those grapes.
So
and
we made a batch of wine, and it's so young, it's not for sale yet, but we have some in a French oak barrel that we're aging for a year. We have some in bottles, and we have taken some, and we mixed it with our cider to make that rosé.
So you guys heard that first.
Wow. That's, wow. And you know what else I love? You have the malt cider too, don't you?
We do.
Yeah. But I love the baskets you have. Like it's like you have these experiences that we can buy, you know, with the goodies and the candles or whatever we want to put, and that's just like so lovely. Yes, thank you. Show us. Yes. Yeah, these ones. Yeah. I mean, that's just. I mean, it's so wonderful. I mean, whether it's a gift or it's a holiday or something to just you want to send somebody to give them that experience of more than just a cider as if you need more, but they're so nice. Now does that with the maple syrup, the local products?
So this one here is actually our maple basket. So that one we brought out this month to celebrate maple in the county because so many local Prince Edward County maple producers are struggling because there was no maple in the county this year or last year. So they don't really have a way to send their product to people because they've always been used to having people come to them and the festival. So we partnered with Roblin's, and that's why we made our maple cider, which is oh so sappy. We sell it with the Roblin's maple syrup, as you can see there, as well as some maple candies, 2 different kinds of maple candies. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Now that's like a perfect Easter gift if you want to send somebody something, because we're social distancing and trying to keep away from people. Isn't that just like wonderful to be doing that for somebody, like to just give them this experience or something that you thought that they would like? I just think that's so sweet. It's like a taste of Prince Edward County that you can give someone. I just
Yeah, really.
I love that idea. I love those baskets that you're doing. Sorry, Craig.
No, I was just going to say we have a local product basket, so it has our cider, maple syrup, and honey, and lip
Nice.
balm, and soap, and glassware. It's been a huge seller as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fabulous.
I was
Now,
going to suggest,
Yeah.
if I could, it's
Sure.
starting to get dark here, and we'd like you
Okay.
to see our patio. So can we take
That-
you out?
Please,
Before it gets
we're
dark?
like, are you kidding? Please, yes.
We'll bring it back in
I
and still
cannot
chat,
wait.
not to worry.
It's very windy outside.
Oh, the door's locked. I just walked into the door. So we're closed right now, which is why there's no one on the patio.
Yeah.
But as you can see, this was our patio expansion right here that we did this fall. So there will be fires at nighttime throughout the summer.
Love it.
Check out this view, guys.
Oh my gosh. Like, can we all just be transported there? That just looks, no wonder. I mean, you fell in love with the property. My gosh. It's so inspirational. I'm watching it and it's like, of course, I can see the fire. I can taste the cider, Oh goodness, it's just beautiful.
And down there you can see our sign. Our sign was one of our newer things that we did. We used a local sign maker. So again, we always try and use local whenever possible. And he made us our sign, which we absolutely love. It's not quite finished yet. There's going to be some more delicate ironwork on top with some apples, stained glass apples in it.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, so nice.
And the old barn's there. And there will be some food and stuff this summer down in this area right there.
I love that. Right there. Is it
right
like,
there?
Are you doing like food trucks or like local vendors, or what do you think?
So we have a friend that does Dominican style food. So she is going to be starting her own little business and selling on our property to be paired with our ciders.
Nice.
And then this is the front of our building for those that haven't been here. I will walk down and take you directly in front of it as well.
Yeah, people are loving the sunset. I'm loving. There's been a lot of people here who have the malt cider, just waiting for the right time to crack it open. I guess like me and the rosé.
Honestly, the malt cider is anytime's a good time. It's great. I love it, especially when it's done hot.
You like it hot?
Yeah, so it can be done hot with some extra spices and stuff. We do sell the malt cider kits.
Right.
And yeah, this is why we love the county. Those sunsets. Oh my goodness.
It's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Wow. Wow. It's just beautiful. And all the stoner.
Yeah, that's what we fell in love with.
Beautiful.
I'll take you back in.
And you have about like 20 some odd acres, don't you, of land?
We have 23 acres, yes.
23 acres, yeah.
And we always try to add in little details and really make it an experience when our customers come here. So when you first walk in,
I love
Crimson
it.
Cider Company stamped into the concrete.
So nice.
Then you get this lovely doorman.
That so handsome. So handsome.
We'll tip it off.
And when you walk in, we've got our merchandise. We've got our bars. So we've got 2 spots at the main bar. Right now we're only using 1 spot. We use this spot and then our satellite bar over here. just so that people have ample space. There's probably about 3 meters between those bars. So we really want to make sure our customers are safe when they do come and visit us.
That's wonderful.
Flip it back around. So.
Oh, that's great. Now, can we, where you are, do you have the slushy machines nearby? I know they're not on. I know I just want to see. I just want to see, because Michelle came this weekend and she said that she had 2, I think. There were 2 flavors of slushies. So of course she just tried to make me jealous because.
So we've got 2 different ones going right now. It's a little bit loud sometimes. So they were just turned off about an hour ago.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty good. So it's a commercial slushy machine that we make our slushies in. So it's got a cooling thing in the middle, and it basically cools it and freezes it. Right now, we do have apple and peach going. And then we will be having a grape one and a berry one going as well.
A grape one?
Yes, it's so good.
I love everything grape, and well, peach as well. Well, I love everything, but I've never a grape cider slushy. Is that what you're telling me?
Uh-huh. Or what's super popular as well is we'll layer it, and it's called the County Sunset. And that's basically grape on the bottom, then berry, then peach, then apple. And it's this beautiful ombre slushy.
Darkest to lightest.
Yeah.
Really neat.
People love it.
Is my drool like reflecting? Oh, they're like, oh my gosh. I mean, it's like cider slushy. It sounds like why was this not more common? Like,
right?
Oh my gosh. It's like a one of those frosty ones from 7-Eleven for grown-ups. Is that like when? Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. It's basically one of those like Slurpees, only alcoholic.
Yes. It's like, you know, when you as a kid, you go to the pop machine and you go like ding, 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 ding. I would take all the different flavors when my dad would take me to Burger King when I was little.
Yep.
And I'd mix them all together. And then I would do that with slushies. And what you're telling me is I can do that this summer when I come visit you.
Yeah.
And,
yes, you can.
And I think there's going to be a lot of us there. Wow. How did that idea come up? I mean, it seems like ingenious to me. I can't get over this cider slushy.
So it's something I wanted to do. I thought about it about the first fall we were open, and I was like, we should do it. And Craig was like, no, we've got lots of bills, like can't really afford to buy slushy machines because they're about $3,500 each. More than that now, yeah, but at the time they were $3,500 plus tax, so over $4,000 per machine. We're like, no, we don't really have extra cash to do that. And then I ended up, then COVID hit and it was definitely off the table.
Yeah.
And then I found someone who was selling slushy machines, and I was like, yeah, I want those. And so I basically said, yep, Craig, we're doing it, and I'm going to pick it up. And he was like, okay, I guess. Like, it's kind of weird. Is anyone going to want it? And needless to say, many people have wanted it, and they've been very popular.
And they paid themselves off in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
It's insane.
We did not pay $3,500 though for them.
But still, I mean, they are a huge hit. There are some days in the hot summer where we sell as many, if not more, slushies as we do pints of cider.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised because I would probably just take something of everything. I think we should all collectively go and help support the slushy machine and debt reduction. I not that there is, but I'm just saying that is just.
Oh, there's that. There is that.
Yeah. I love how honest you are. You're like, yes. Well, I think we should all come. That just sounds so great. Can I ask your ciders? They're all 750 mils, right? In like the bottles. Yeah. So because I know there's been a lot of talk lately, and we did this at our last Cider Chat too. Oh, are you going to come join us on Saturday? Because we have our Zoom Cider Chat. If you're free, not to put you on the spot. Cider makers come. I'll email you, and we just all talk and chat.
For sure.
And do it. Cheers. Oh, lovely, 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 lovely. But we were talking last time about, glass and bottles and different sizes. Because there's sometimes when, a 355 ml can is perfect. And then there's times when you want to crack open a 750 ml bottle. But, so what was your sort of, I guess, idea behind keeping it all like that, 750?
So our very first year, we did do 750s and 500s. Okay. And we found 750s sold better. So in order to keep an inventory to have both sizes, it wasn't really making sense. And then we switched our bottle, like where we buy our bottles from, and they didn't have the bottle we wanted in 500s. So essentially that made the decision for us. So we basically just decided to stay with the 750s.
Well, I think they're gorgeous anyway. Like, if you haven't seen Crimson's bottles and the labels, and it's just beautiful, and the color. But because it's comparable to a bottle of wine, then in that case, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's really the same size as a bottle of wine.
Yeah, which really just, I think it lends itself well to your baskets and your gifts as also too. I think it just looks. Yeah. I think they're just stunning. Did you ever think about cans? Or slushies for the mass market or anything like that?
Yeah, slushies we're talking about, but cans are super. Yeah.
Yes, we are working on it so you can be able to buy and take home and make your own slushies. Yeah. So we are working on it. We're just figuring a couple things out.
Wow. Right? Everybody just make sure you heard what she just said. What they just said. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, canning is very expensive. But by the time you get the can, the lid, the wrapper, it's cheaper than a bottle. But then to actually can it is super expensive. To actually have a canning machine come in or buy one, to buy one, they're about $150,000. That's where they start. Mm-hmm. And then to have a mobile company come in, they have minimums, and if we wanted to do 3 different ciders, it would be very difficult to meet their minimum. So it would be just cost prohibitive.
Yeah, and right now we have such small batches because everything we make is very much craft. Our large batches are 1,000 liters, 1,000 liters. So most places have a 10,000 can minimum, which that's 5,000 liters. So it's 5 times what our biggest batch is. So we don't really have volumes that make it economical or feasible to bring in a canning company at this time.
Okay.
So that's why we stick to bottling, and it's worked out for us. I think our consumers, they like it. And
we direct people to the dollar store to buy those wine stoppers where you can suck the air out, and it'll keep a couple of days if you don't finish it.
Yep.
That's all you need.
And really, I forgot the bottle at the back of the fridge, and it's been fine like a week later.
Well, the wine stopper, I use the wine pump. If there's any left, I just use that and put that and leave that. So
and for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, I will just grab one. You are behind our plexiglass right now, which is why it's not funny. There it is. Oh, it's caught on a cord. So this is the wine stopper. I think I bought mine at Winners for $6.99, and it comes with 6 or 12 of the little plugs. And yeah, it just sucks all the air out and keeps your product much longer.
It's perfect. Oh, that's great. And so the new flavors that's coming, I saw the teaser with the cucumbers.
The cucumbers? Yes. Mm-hmm. So Mint to Be is coming back. It will be debuting, what's today? Tuesday?
Yeah.
It'll be debuting. Say that 10 times fast. It will be debuting at the end of this week or beginning of next week. So wow. Very, very soon. If you know, that was what I put, the comment I put with it. It's
huge seller.
Huge.
People love it.
Yeah. So it's very cucumber forward for those who have not tried it. It's a nice subtle, and I mean very, very subtle hint of mint at the end. Some people don't even get the mint. It's more just to round out the flavors. It's not there to be a dominant flavor. And it's kind of described as a poolside sipper. So it kind of tastes like spa water for any of the ladies that have been to the spa, or gentlemen for that matter. And it's just that really nice, fresh cucumbery water kind of. And what I like to do is do a shot of gin and then top it up with the rest of it being mint to be. Makes a wicked cocktail. So highly recommend that.
And it's very light, right? Because usually anything that has an herb in it, my head usually goes the other way. But you kept emphasizing it's very, very, very light on the mint.
Very light mint, yeah. It's much more cucumber. If you like cucumber, you will like this.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That's so exciting. And so, and you have your own orchard too, don't you?
We do.
So can I ask you an apple question?
Yes.
What kind of apples do you have on your orchard for your ciders? Like, because I know some people just like have a different variety. What spoke to you, I guess?
So we have a variety of different apples planted. We have the most Crimson Crisps planted, hence where our name came from.
Okay, that was my next question. Okay.
That being said, our orchard is very young. It looks like a glorified twig field. Yeah, it's not those big bushy trees like everyone thinks. Trees do not grow within a year, so they are still growing. We got one apple last year.
Yay! Yay!
But that being said, one of my good friends does own an orchard nearby, and we buy all of her apples from her orchard. So we do use local apples whenever possible. And we've supplemented that with apples from down in the Wapoose area. So again, about 20 minutes from us. And then at the very least, they are 100% Ontario. So if whatever we can't get locally, if that's not enough, we do make sure it's 100% Ontario.
Nice. That's great. So the Crimson Crisp, why that apple? Why is that a good cider apple?
It's not the greatest cider apple. It's more because I liked alliterations and I wanted it to be CCC. And I'm like, Crimson Crisp, that works.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
So the basic...
It's not the greatest apple, and Craig doesn't really like cider.
It tastes great.
But we all love it, so that's what matters, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like a Honey Crisp. It's a sweeter... it's not one of those very tannic apples. Typically, when it comes to apples, if it's an apple that does not taste great and is hard and does not have a lot of juice, it's going to be a great cider apple. So think of like crab apples, those ones you used to whip at your siblings when you were a child. Yeah. Cider apples.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I used to suck them and I have bad aim, so I can say I whipped them because no one's really going to know, right? But, okay, I see. So the juicier the apple, the worse it is for ciders.
Yeah.
Okay. And the first cider that you made, how great was that?
So it's kind of interesting. So I had made cider before and Craig had made wine before. And we kind of did one batch together and we tried it and we're like, it's not awesome. And then when we did our cider course, we learned how to fix it. And we went back and tried it with that batch that we thought was meh. And it turned out really good. We ended up drinking that whole batch because we were able to just tweak a couple little things, tweak the acid levels, and basically just fine and finish it in a nicer way.
Our first big batch of cider, though, was very tart, like super sour tart. So Katie took it to a beer festival and marketed it as a tart sour cider and sold out.
And it actually worked. So
yeah, I totally get it. You're like tart sour. I'm like, that is something
it's like sour beers, right? Like
Okay.
The very, very first batch I made was rather sour, and it worked. It was a hot day at a beer fest, and I was the first vendor to sell out. It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah. And
so
I thought it was oopsie initially.
Oopsie. So where do you sell now, besides online and besides like in local establishments?
Yeah, so we are here in our tasting room on our website, and then in a couple local restaurants right now. And that's
nice.
And at
Wow.
Leslieville Farmers Market. So for anyone in Toronto, Leslieville Farmers Market, we are one of the standing vendors there. So you will see this guy right here. He will be there every single Sunday.
Oh, Leslieville's, you come up here? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
through
that.
the summertime. So since Craig's already in Toronto, we offer free Durham and Toronto delivery every Sunday during the season of the market. So
not just the days of the, because I'm like, oh, April 11th is on my calendar because I know that's my Toronto. So every Sunday?
That's right.
Every Sunday as soon as the market starts. So
May 16th.
Yeah.
May 16th. Okay, I'm like writing the day down. I think so. There's some other people out there doing the same thing. Now we all want to know: will our slushy melt while Craig is trying to deliver it to us? I'm just teasing.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. So, what's your inspiration, I guess, for different flavor combinations? Does it come from like your community and what the producers are having? Like, is that what draws it, or is it your palate, or just, hey, let's try this, put it together and see what happens?
I think it's kind of a combination. Yeah. So like we do local things like the Roblin's maple syrup, or we've got one that's a lavender one. So we use local lavender from Millfleur Lavender Farm, or the honey one, again, another local producer with the Hive and Hearthstone. But other than that, it's kind of whatever weird and wonderful things we can think of and just give it a shot.
Flavor combinations, that's right.
And worst case scenario, it doesn't work, right?
Right.
Best case scenario, it's awesome. So we just kind of go for it and try things out, see what people like. We've even had a couple people ask us, hey, can you try a pomegranate cider, for instance? And so we did. And that was less than difficult.
Okay, so there was pomegranate, because that was I know that you don't have it anymore, because I had emailed you a few weeks ago and you said that was just a small batch. Luckily, that was our Valentine's cheers in our house, so that was really, 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 really good. Will that be coming back?
It probably
at some point. Okay.
It's not on the docket for the next couple months, just because we've got some other things coming out. But we'll probably make that one again. People seem to really like it. And if you really like that one, try cranberry sage. It's similar. It's okay. So
it's the herb. If there's herbs or there's flowers, no. Craig's like,
so,
no.
You'll like it.
There are some ciders on the market that are overpowering with flavors. Our sort of theory is that the cider should come first and the flavor should be in the back. So it's not going to be aggressively flavored with anything. Right. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. Our sage is not going to be insanely sagey. You're going to get a lot more of the tartness from the cranberry, and the sage just kind of rounds it out. Okay.
Yeah, Michelle's just telling me that she didn't notice the sage, that she thought it was good, because they know, like, I like very, very dry. I don't like overly like spicy. I don't want to drink something that tastes like I should be eating it. You know. So I'm very, very I will look at that when I make my order for the next time. Oh, and somebody else is saying that that's actually their favorite. Okay.
Hi, Amanda. You know what? That was Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. It better be good, because I'm going to take your word for it. If it's your fave, I'm going to just remember that you said that. That's so nice. And then what about the flavor combination? Was there ever one that you thought, okay, this is going to be great, and then you took a sip of it and it ended up like, when I don't like a cider, it ends up in a mason jar, and then I bake with it or I cook with it. But was there ever a combination that you were just like, while you were creating it, you thought, this is so great, I'm going to love this, and then, besides the first batch, because, you have a pass on that one?
We've made a few batches. Like, we make them on it's called bench trials, right? So we make them literally on a bench in very small quantities and measure out everything very precisely, measuring it on a scale, etc. So we'll make a glass of something, and if we like it, great. And our cider maker will make 3 glasses, and they'll be slightly different of the same cider. And we'll get to try them all and pick the one that we think is best. And I don't remember us scrapping an idea yet, but I'm sure we will at some point. There's just some things that don't go well together, and you try them and you go, yeah, no.
We have tried some where it's just been like the wrong type of, whether it's herb or spice. Just it hasn't been incorporated properly, and that's when it's been like, oh, nope, we have to do this differently. Yeah. And so then we just go back to the drawing board.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say, and you're saying like small batches, but for me that means, okay, you're taking enough care to make sure that it suits the palate that the two of you and your cider maker enjoy before you make something that you think other people wouldn't enjoy. So that's the care, right? So I mean that's really speaks to, I think, the care for how you want people to enjoy on their palate, right? Because if it's not just about how much can we get out and, you know, how much can we, you know, I mean, sure, how much can we sell, but what kind of flavor experience can we make sure that that our clients and our customers are having that it comes from your heart, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we really do want it to be an experience, both on your palate and if people come and visit us. We want it always to be an experience for us. And even with doing bench trials, when it's something that we're doing blind tastes of, it's not just me, Craig, and our cider maker. It's also, we'll have a staff meeting and we'll have our other staff members there. So we get a wide variety. We have some staff members who prefer a little bit sweeter, a little bit more fruity. And then there's like Craig and I that like bone dry stuff. So it's kind of neat to see just the perception of all the different types of palates. And I mean, you can have someone that's a super taster, so they get a lot more flavors. I, for one, am a super taster. Craig is not. So there are things that Craig's like, oh yeah, I don't taste that at all. And I'm like, nope. So it's really interesting to go and do either taste tests together or even like wine tours and wine tastings, because we'll totally pick up on different things just because of our palates. And I think that's it's really valuable to have that kind of difference in terms of people's palates in your team so that you can actually get a true representation of what your clients are going to be like.
Absolutely. Now, is there a way you would recommend it? Like, is there a certain, I know some people like certain glasses is there a way that you would like your ciders to be, I guess, like breathed or?
So there's a couple different things on that. I'm going to take you on a little tour.
Because I love my cider in a glass. I'm not a, you know, if it's a can, even no matter what it is, I like a cider in a glass. So we have
our glasses that we do sell as well. They are shaped just like a beer can, just because a lot of people drink cider similar to the way they drink beer, right? And then we've got our American pint, which is this one. We do have our 5-ounce taster glasses, which are great for if you're doing like a tasting party. We have our British pint for our British customers who like that little bit extra. So for those that don't know, the difference is 4 ounces. So American pint is 16 ounces. British pint is 20 ounces. And then we also have our champagne flute, and it's got the little Stonehouse engraved onto it as well. So that one we find is really nice for the really delicate ciders. So we do have a couple ciders, like our lavender buds. That one, for instance, we do suggest pouring it ice cold, and then even rimming the top of the glass with a bit of sugar. And you can even throw a sprig of fresh lavender in there. And it just really makes it elegant, really elevates like dinner parties, or if you've got another couple coming over, socially distanced, of course. It's really a neat, just classy touch.
Nice. Now the lavender one, though, is it very lavender forward?
It's floral.
It's floral, but it's not perfumey, because there is that fine line when it comes to things like lavender, where it will just go soapy and perfumey if you do too much. Ours is not that soapy perfumey, but it does have a floral note for sure.
Okay. Okay. I'm more intrigued by the cranberry sage, I think, especially because you said it was like the Let's Get Physical. And yeah, so if that's the closest thing, while I'm waiting for you to make the other one, Let's Get Physical. And the mint is intriguing.
Yeah, the mint to be, which is the cucumber one, people go nuts for. I know there's at least 3 or 4 people that as soon as they see it, they're getting a few cases. Just because if you know, you know.
And the malt cider, is that available all year long? Because I know we associate that with the holidays, but is it still?
We still have a fair bit of it, just because the lockdown and shutdown and stuff happened
Okay.
that time. And we typically make enough to go into about May. So we do have a fair bit of it left currently. We do sell the kits as well. So if you like to do it hot, the kit includes the extra spices and 2 bottles of malt, and that is going to be here until and instructions, of course, and we'll have that until we sell out.
We'll make it again in the fall. It's it's spiced apple, and it's a great fall and winter drink, and then we serve it in the tasting room hot, and people go nuts for it.
Yeah, even like around a campfire at night, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
Is it good cold too? Because I'm not a hot.
Yeah, it's totally good cold. We serve it cold in flights here at the cidery, and we also have the hot option as well. So basically, the cold version is just a little less spiced because you're not adding that extra spice. Just because when you heat it up, it's nice to have that little extra. But, nice. The cold is quite good.
Nice. Well, this was so great, and your production facility is on site too, right?
I can show you through the window. I don't know if you're going to be able to see too much of it.
That's okay. We like to look at
the last few days. So that's our production facility.
Oh, nice.
So you can see our apple bins sitting out front and our wagon. But yeah, that's our production facility. So just in behind our tasting room is our production facility.
Mm-hmm. So beautiful. Wow. This was I love
kits.
Oh, those are the malt. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and for those that want to really see what county sunsets are like.
Oh my gosh, it's purple, isn't it? I think I saw purple. Oh my gosh.
This is why everyone loves county sunsets. It is so beautiful.
Oh my gosh. So lovely. This is you have such a heartwarming environment. Yes, like it's beautiful, but I mean it really speaks to like your personalities as well. It's just so heartwarming.
Aw, thank you.
Just beautiful. I mean, everyone's just like going nuts, just going. This is just beautiful. Wow. I'm so thankful that you gave us this tour and this experience, and to learn more about your ciders and your passion and what brought it, what came about, so what your impetus was for starting this. And it really sounds like the direction that you're taking with your ciders and purities just speaks to you doing this exactly the way you want to do it, which is honest and pure, and helping all of us have these experiences. Oh, I think we just froze with the connection. Oh, there we go. There it was, complimenting you, and it froze. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Yeah.
It should restore in a second. There we go.
There. Oh, it's so beautiful. I mean, like, what an experience. What an experience. Congratulations to you both. I mean,
thank you.
Just so fabulous. And the outpour of people who love your products too is incredible.
Yeah. We are
so great
to the amazing customers we have. They're very loyal, and we really have to thank them for all of our success.
And thank you for what you're doing for the Ontario cider industry, for bringing it, just keeping everything. I mean, just your comment about you just want to, as you'll use the apples as long as they're Ontario, as long as but we have so much wealth of, um,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I know I'm so distracted by the sunset.
It's getting dark
So
out
much
here.
to offer. Okay. Yeah.
We're moving
so much
inside.
to offer.
The sun went down.
It's too chilly.
There we go.
There. Oh, so nice. Yeah, thank you so much. And I hope you can make it on Saturday. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm just going to send the Zoom link out on Friday. And there are a couple of other wonderful, they're all wonderful, the cideries and cider companies and cider makers that are coming too. And just to chat, because, it's lovely to know about, the more you can share about what your vision was for your ciders, the easier it is, I think, for me to understand, okay, because you're saying this is not mint forward. Like, that's huge for me, because so many ciders other places, it's like, okay, the spice or the seasoning is sort of kind of overwhelming. But and to anyone else that is watching that wants to come to our Cider Chat, it is not an exclusive club. It is just a bunch of us that come on Zoom, and we take a cheers and we talk about everything that we can talk about to do with ciders, and just relate. The community itself is just so endearing and heartwarming, and non-pretentious. And I think I say this far too often, but it's just it's such a nice collective group to be part of, and especially in this sort of in the pandemic, and where we're all situated, the fact that you're allowing us to see your cidery and to see your facilities, even though we can't come there in person necessarily, is just very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Of course, I'm jealous because I want to come so badly, and so when I do, I'm going to be there, and you'll know who I am, because I'll be the one going with the cider for the slushy, and I will notify you ahead of time. But thank you so much for taking the time out of your evening, and for everyone watching to come and to share this with us. It's been so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well,
No problem.
Thank
you so much for the invite.
Yeah.
And thanks for everyone who's been watching and tuning in with us. It's been great.
Yes. And for everybody who lives in Toronto, Durham, and they come up to Mississauga, because I know it's on the
Ottawa
401.
too.
And
all
Ottawa,
the way
right.
from
But
Mississauga to Ottawa. We cover it all.
Now I only know my date. My day is April 11th. The other one is April
11th, and then April 17th. So it's the following Friday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, wonderful.
Yeah. And then Ottawa will be likely every 2 weeks in the summertime, unless we get into an Ottawa market. We have applied for those that are in Ottawa. We're trying to get into a market up there, just so we're closer for you guys. And then, like I said, with Toronto, we are there every weekend for the Leslieville market, and we will be doing deliveries after that as well. So if you can't make it to the Leslieville market, we'll come to you.
Okay. How can you go wrong with that? I mean, they're going to come to us. And I have to say too, for anyone who doesn't know, there's no minimum.
No.
Right.
Okay.
You want one bottle, 2 bottles, 3 bottles, we'll come to you.
That's a big deal. There's no minimum, and they will deliver it to us.
Yep.
Yeah.
So everybody, we're going to support you. We'll just put everybody on the spot. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you again. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks again for inviting us. We loved it.
Oh, I'm glad. We'll do another one in the summer. Maybe one day we'll be able to do one, socially distancing, like in person.
Yeah.
And then, and when your new batches are ready, then you want to unveil. We're happy to see them.
Sounds good. I'll keep you posted.
Perfect. Okay, I'll hold you to it.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Kasha.
Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Craig. Bye. Take care. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Wonderful.